Hi everyone, and welcome to the webinar about how AI can accelerate your sales and how by use of Copilot you can transform your workflows. My name is Asel and I am the marketing manager at Logic Apps. And with me today I have Elizabeth, who is our Power Platform architect. Together we will lead you through today's webinar. We have prepared a lot of exciting things to show, the demo, but before we go there, I would like to make a quick introduction of Logic Apps so you know a little bit who we are. And I also need to remind you that if you have any questions along the way, feel free to drop them into the Q&A part, and we will make sure we answer them in the end of the question. So, Logic Apps is a company with roots both in Oslo and Kiev. So, it's a Norwegian-Ukrainian company. We established ourselves in 2019 and combined proximity to customers, being on site in Norway, with access to Ukraine's IT expertise. We are present in 14 European countries and have around 30 experts. At Logic Apps, we combine business knowledge with technical expertise. So if you will get to know us and check our profiles, you will see that we have diversity of backgrounds present in the team. And we really love building solutions that are actually used, not just talked about. We do have a lot of happy customers. You see them here in a heart. And you can read our success stories and customer cases on our website. Yeah. So now you know a little bit about our company, and feel free to reach out to any of us for further dialogue. Let's move on to today's main topic, which is sales efficiency with the use of Copilot. But to understand the value of Copilot, we first need to look at some of the key challenges in the modern sales process. I think it would make sense. So many salespeople, and I guess some of you who are joining this webinar are the sales or commercial representatives. So I trust you can relate to this when you feel like there are just too many systems to keep track of. You feel like you have a poor overview or insufficient overview of customer history, all the customer related data. We do have a lot of interfaces with the customers, right? And then you keep some minutes of the meeting, you have an emails chain, you have some project related information that you try to group around specific customers. There is a lot to keep an eye on. There is a lot of data you want to use, and you of course want to be efficient. It probably may feel sometimes that you have too little time for actual customer dialogue, and instead you use a lot of time searching for the data, compiling it, trying to make use of it, and getting it actionable, right? And probably which is why you may feel that you spend too much time on manual tasks and you wish technology help. But often I hear from my experience, sales guys complain that it's just too complex, too many clicks, and not necessarily more insight you are getting in the end of the day, and therefore not necessarily better results as well. So given that, and at the same time, we observe that there is a pressure to deliver on customer expectations, which is increasing. Here you see some statistics. One of them is that the majority of customers want companies to respond faster to their changing needs. With all the technology, with AI booming, everybody become a little more impatient and they want things to be done faster, and customers want faster response. That makes sense. And at the same time, 46% of the customers say they will buy more when they will get a personalized experience, and everybody loves personalized experience, right? And there is a cost to not meeting customer expectations. Around 32% of customers say they will leave a company if they have an inconsistent experience. So there is a really big risk of losing the customers if we are not able to meet their demands, expectations, and be fast and precise. And as you have seen, there are many factors that make it challenging to deliver a truly personalized customer experience. Fragmented systems and data silos make it difficult to get a full overview of the customer, and many companies end up operating in silos, unfortunately, just like the systems they use. But customers don't think in silos, they expect us to know them, no matter who they talk to and what channels they use. And to meet their expectations, we need to work smarter, not just harder. We need tools that give us insight across all the systems and that help us to be more relevant, both in sales dialogue and in the whole customer journey. And that's where Copilot for Sales comes in. So, with that, I would like to invite Elizabeth to take a stage and then tell us more about Copilot and show some of the use cases. Elizabeth, please.
Yeah, thank you, Asel. So let's talk about what is a Copilot for Sales actually is. It is not the same Copilot as you might have already tried in Word or Outlook in Microsoft Teams, which is Microsoft 365 Copilot. This Copilot is something else. It talks directly to your data in Dynamics 365 for Sales, which is CRM, and intelligently assists you where your customer data actually lives. So Copilot for Dynamics 365 puts generative AI to work right on your sales data, on your tasks, and also on the customer interactions. Also, Microsoft launched the world's first Copilot for CRM and remains a leader in generative AI for business applications. Here on the slide, you can see that this Copilot can also be applied for other modules in Dynamics 365, which is, for example, customer insight, customer service, field service, and so on. Now, when marketing, sales, and customer service are all connected in one platform, you get a completely different customer experience. Each function knows what the other have done, which channels the customer has used, how they had engaged in the past, what they were discussing with sales managers. With Copilot, which combines the power of large language models such as GPT-4 with the company's own data, workflows, insights, and knowledge, both internally and externally, it becomes possible for everyone in the team to deliver more relevant and personalized customer experience when you're discussing potential opportunities, previous purchases with your customers. Doesn't matter whether you're in marketing, sales, or customer service, you'll get this intelligent tool and it will help you to understand the context and you'll be able to act accordingly. And why do customers choose Microsoft? Because it is one unified platform and Microsoft is a leader in generative AI for marketing and sales. It allows you to save the costs on the acquiring new customers or retaining the existing customers. It also is built to be expandable and customizable, and you can sleep well knowing that this is secure and your data is completely private and follow all the compliances. The idea behind the Microsoft Copilot is to take the Dynamics 365 experience even further if you're already using it. That's why Copilot for Sales is designed as an AI assistant for sales teams. The goal is to increase productivity and help salespeople with more details and more deals. It brings sales insights and recommendations and next generation AI right into the tools that sellers already use, for example, Outlook, Teams, and Microsoft Word. And as a result, less time will be spent on manual time-consuming tasks, such as switching between CRM and collaboration tools, Microsoft Teams, Outlook, updating information in multiple places, and also maybe looking for answers and documents. Instead, sales representatives will get help right where they work with generative AI that supports the entire sales process. It's very seamless and efficient. And now it is time for us to see how the Copilot actually works. Here you will see the Dynamics 365 for Sales, which I open the Sales Hub. The first thing I see here with enabled Copilot for Sales is a Copilot at the My Work area. This is a chat with the Copilot for Sales where I can ask questions like, what is my pipeline? What should I work on? What should I follow up on? Here you will see the button, View Prompts, and those are the prompts that are available out of the box when you enable Copilot for Sales. And you can navigate through the different prompts, like, for example, get latest news from account. And this account, you can specify the account that you were working on before. For example, I was creating this account for the demo today, Barista Pro, and I'm asking for the latest news. So what Copilot will do, Copilot will search for all the news related to this company on the internet. Other areas that you can use here is also show my pipeline. As a sales manager, I want to see and be up to date on what are the urgent tasks, what should I follow up on. And the Copilot will be working on to give you the summary. For example, I have 30 opportunities in my pipeline, and it will give me insights on what are the most notable opportunities that I have to work on, because they are, for example, the biggest in the value and the estimated costs, estimated revenue that they can bring, and also if any opportunity close date, estimated close date is coming soon. So here I will see those opportunities. Then when I go to other area in Dynamics 365 for Sales in the CRM, on the right side, I will always see the Copilot. And again, I can view the prompts. I can ask Copilot any information about data that I have. And you will see also that these conversations that I was asking, it will remain here. But it is only for the current session. So if I refresh the page and if I sign in next time, I will not see it again. This will be new. So it's per session. And let's move on. So you will see the accounts and contacts. This is standard functionality of Dynamics 365. Here are my leads and the opportunities. In the opportunity, we will also see this view, where is this pipeline with my opportunities. The size of the dot here will represent the estimated revenue, and I will see also the opportunity list details at the bottom. And again, I can ask any question related to those opportunities here. Let's see how the Copilot for Sales helps sales manager to work with their leads and opportunities. So I created an account, again, this Barista Pro. This is my potential customer. When I open the details in CRM, I will see general account information, estimated revenue, and so on. This is CRM functionality. And then here you will see the highlights. The highlights is a summary of the discussions that we had with this account, with the representatives of this account. For example, Francisca is the primary contact, and we have other contact here. So any communication that was going on with those contacts from the account will be represented in the timeline. And as a sales manager, I'll be able to quickly see the summary of all the dialogues that we had, all the emails, for example. And here you will see this is the conversations that we had with the customer that there was a request made for a compact coffee machine suitable for that many drinks per day, and requesting for the technical specifications and so on. And before that, there was another request for quotation on another coffee machine. Where is this coming from? So you will see this was the communication. This was an email sent from Francisca to a sales manager saying that during some presentation they found our coffee machine and they would like to know more details about it. And we were sending the details. After that, they were asking for the price and official proposal. So this is what we've sent to her. How the sales manager was working on it. So mainly as sales representatives work in Outlook. Let me show you how this work started. So here I'm in the Outlook. I received this email. When I open Outlook, I have here the Copilot. So this is the Copilot for Microsoft 365, and here is the Copilot for Sales that we are talking about today. This is a different one. And this Copilot will take data from CRM and give me insights. So you will see the key sales information. There was a request for technical details of the coffee machine, and there was this response, the estimate of the revenue, and the technical specification was sent. You will also see from the Copilot for Sales, this email is connected to this account. It was recognized already by the email that potential customer sent to us, because we had it in the CRM. As well as if you receive a new email, you will see on the right panel in the Copilot for Sales an action button to create a new contact and save it directly to CRM. So you don't have to go outside from Outlook. You don't have to go CRM directly. You can create and update any information regarding the contact, account, and opportunity directly from Outlook. So you can save time from navigating and making more clicks. Here you can also see the details like this is my contact. These are the opportunities related to that contact. So this contact this potential customer requested one coffee machine, which is Cafe Duo, and also later they requested an automatic machine for a smaller office. You can see also the accounts details. From here, you can click on the add button, and from here you can create a new account. For example, if a customer shared some contact details of their colleague and you want to create this from here. Additionally, you can create an opportunity directly from the email if you found that there is another opportunity from the discussion, and you can create from here, specify the topic, what is estimated revenue, and so on. As well as if you see a request for some specific product or a recommendation for a product, you'll be able to find these details using this search button. So, for example, I'm looking for the information on the coffee machine, which is automatic. Automatic coffee machine, and here is it, product displayed here, and it will show me the name, if this is valid product still and that we can use. So it will show me some details of the product that I can use directly here, and I don't have to navigate to CRM because I see all the information already. What else we can do from Outlook is, for example, when we want to discuss and collaborate on this opportunity or this account together with my colleagues, I would be going through the collaborating teams. Here you will see that I have already created a collaboration with in Teams with my colleagues. So here are the chats And if I go to Microsoft for Teams, let me open it. As well as I can click here, set up a new account, and I'll be able to create a new one, a new Teams channel. Okay, while it is opening, let me go here back, and I'll show you also how the Outlook Copilot for Sales chat is changing as you navigate through the emails. So every email might have different details, and this key sale information might change as you navigate through those emails. So I have to select an email, and it will be re-rendered here. Okay. Here you can see in Microsoft Teams it is loaded already. So I have created this Barista Pro from Copilot for Sales in Outlook directly. So I didn't have to do it manually. And then I can see here all the general information, as well as I can add new team members here. And then here, this is my customer. As well as the channel was created automatically, some files was already also added, the files or the folders. And when you go back to this account, you will see those documents here also. So it's very seamless integration that you can leverage for your work efficiency. Any documents that you share and collaborate on in Microsoft Teams, you will already see here as well in the CRM under the account of the document. As well as it is also pretty customizable, so you can navigate and you can customize what documents you see automatically, what folders are created, and so on. And as we were communicating with this customer, again, in the timeline, we will see all the emails, and we can also reply, as you might know from Dynamics or CRM, you can reply directly from CRM, or you can do it in Outlook. Now let me show you another feature of Copilot for Sales. This is another letter that I received from the same customer. So they were saying, like, while we are waiting for the official quotation for the previous product, we also have a need for another coffee machine for our smaller office. We need it to be a bit cheaper, and we don't need that many cups of coffee. It is just around 20 drinks per day. So please send us the recommendation. And here, what we can do, if I click the reply button, I will see some suggestions. Those are Copilot suggestions from sales. So it takes data from Dynamics for CRM and helps you write the email. For example, I click make a proposal, and then it will draft me a proposal taking the data from CRM. You might see here also Copilot from Outlook, but this is a different one. This will just try to help you draft the email, but it will not take data from sales, from CRM. So we will be using this Copilot for sales. I click here, make a proposal, and now it is drafting an email, taking the data from sales. So let's see what it will generate, which is very nice. It suggests me what should be the subject, what should be the text, and you will see here that the total price for 1 unit of coffee automatic machine, 5,000 euros. And I was not specifying it anywhere else. It is just that the customer requested this automatic machine. And when I was creating the opportunity, let me open this one. The estimated revenue in the CRM was 5,000 euros. So The Copilot for Sales took the data from CRM and populated it here, which is very nice and time-saving for us because we don't have, as sales managers, to go to CRM every time to retrieve the data. I can find any data I need here. As I was showing, that I can find the coffee machine details, I can also find all my opportunities. So for example, the first opportunity that I was creating was about the duo machine, and I will see those three opportunities related to this coffee duo machine. This is one opportunity. So you can see from this demo that I don't have to go and navigate to Dynamics for Sales in the CRM. I can work completely from Outlook. Now, important thing is when you install Dynamics for Sales, you won't immediately get all the data, all the entities in it, but you can set up it because Microsoft is caring about taking care about security and privacy, and there is some data that you might not want to uh, share for your sales representative or you don't want to include in the Copilot for Sales. How can you set it up? There is admin settings for the Copilot for Sales, which I'll be showing you, where you navigate to the applications and you open Copilot for Sales. And in these settings, you'll be able to include or exclude some specific details or some information. For example, currently you see that contacts, opportunity, accounts, products details I enabled for us to see the details when we are working on some emails or leads, potential customers. And then I can also set the level of knowledge of data and permissions that you can have. For example, from Outlook for Copilot for Sales, you'll be able to create new records, which is very convenient. I can turn it off and I won't be able to do that. So I'll lose that button, create a new opportunity. As well as I can manage which attributes I want to expose to a Copilot for Sales. So I can hide something, I can expose something. Important here is that this setting is only available if you have tenant administrator role. So if you've been setting it up, you have to keep that in mind. Okay, that was it about the uh, demo. Please let me know in the chat if you have any questions, and then we can move on with the presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. We see some questions coming in, so we will answer them shortly. But in the meantime, just a few words around the existing success stories. I guess it's always interesting to see how customers or companies like yourself successfully implementing Copilot. So here you see three examples. One of them is NC Fusion, who have managed to significantly reduce the time it takes to create marketing content, for example, using Copilot in Dynamics 365 Customer Insight. Which I think is pretty cool. And then another company has added Solacin, which has removed a lot of workload in the workspace, such as logging and summarizing meeting notes with Copilot. And I think this is becoming more and more popular, this way of using Copilot. And another example you see here is around the company who tried to use other AI solutions, but the fact that Copilot is built into Dynamics allowed them to follow their existing security setup at no extra cost. And I think this security aspect is really, really important. You do know that Copilot is not exiting the Microsoft infrastructure, so your data is safe. Whereas when you use other AI tools such as ChatGPT, then you cannot rely on data security probably. Which is why we are talking about Copilot today. But let's look into your questions. Let me see. So first question is, which languages are supported in Copilot for Sales?
Yeah, can help with that. So the user interface is supports more languages, but if you're talking about uh, leveraging the AI and this conversation intelligence, there are less languages. For example, uh, currently there is the Dutch language, of course, English, French, German, Japanese, some of them, some more. But for example, Czech language or Turkish language is not supported. So you always have to go to the official documentation and see what is there because they are updating it quite often.
Hmm. Thanks, Lisa. The next question is, where is the data stored in Copilot for Sales?
Uh, the data is stored in CRM, so it's only the Dataverse that is the data model underneath the whole infrastructure of the Dynamics 365 modules.
All right. Another one is, can Copilot for Sales be customized?
Uh, yeah, so the Copilot for Sales can be customized as I was showing you uh, this setup of the what entities I want to expose, what information I want to share. Maybe I can show a little bit more on that one because
Mhm.
here in those settings, yeah, I'm sharing the screen. For example, I was adding also a product price list items. So I want to see in different area, I might have the coffee machine in euro or in dollars. And then I want to see also that information there. When I select the price list item, it would expose me that product. And it also, you will see here that it is related to the product and price list. So it's kind of, you have the relationship between all those entities about the sales process and you'll be able to customize it here. So you're hiding or exposing some information. You can add your custom, your customizations or custom entities, as well as you can go to Copilot for Studio. And if we are talking about custom actions, so it's more agentic way of visualizing AI, you'll be able to find this Copilot for Sales and add some more tools that will allow you to maybe do some integration with third-party systems. If you are using some other ERP system, some other data data storage to add more knowledge to the Copilot, you'll be able to do it in the Copilot Studio. So you have to go to the Copilot Studio. You will find it here in the Copilot Studio Microsoft.com, the agent, and you will find this Copilot for Sales here. And then you can add some tools. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Lisa. We have two more questions. I think we take those before we conclude. What are the common problems companies have when rolling out Copilot for sales? I guess
Mhm.
this is a good question, yeah.
Yeah, so companies are very concerned about the security of their data and also about the hallucinations. So when we are talking about leveraging AI in the business, it's always worth to consider will this impact the business in case of any error or hallucinations that AI will give to you. It's so how to overcome those possible issues, possible scenarios is that you put a prompt when you create a chat, when you start customizing your Copilot for sales, you need to put a prompt. Don't reply to this and these questions. For example, if you're talking about the sales, don't reply about any other questions that are not related to this specific opportunity, so the AI will not give some information related to other customer, because this
Mm.
data should be protected. So those where the security is always the main concern.
Yeah, I agree. And I think another challenge might be the data readiness issue. Like in my experience, when you don't have a quality data in CRM or elsewhere, you don't have a structure, you don't have some standard quality standards, then it would definitely limit Copilot effectiveness. So I think the good remedy or solution for this would be to really work in the organization on set up some basic quality requirements and follow up on that, uh, because the best output you can receive from Copilot when the quality of the data in across those interfaces like CRM, Teams, Outlook is good enough and also sufficient. If you have a very little data, it might also be a limitation for Copilot. And then another challenge I observed in my experience is when there is some resistance to change, like when the organization is not ready, the sales team can be skeptical about AI, and people are usually skeptical when they know little. It's something new, it's something I don't know, scary or not that reliable as they think. So it always helps to do the onboarding and education, the webinar like this intended for that purpose also. So we will be sharing the recording of this webinar later on with you, and also it will be available on YouTube. So you can share the link to the webinar with your sales people and just do the general training. I think it's good. And then the last question I guess we can take is, it's connected actually with what we're discussing now. So how do you recommend training and onboarding sales teams to use Copilot efficiently from day one?
Here I would
Uh,
recommend that whenever you start working on the pilot, first or even the CRM, right? You're talking to the stakeholders who are your sales teams that will be using it. You ask what the problem they have, and you see how you can solve them with Copilot for Sales. And then in the trainings, there should be the scenarios that are very common, that are in use or standard for the sales representatives, that you navigate them through and you help them with the use cases near near real scenarios that you follow.
Yeah, I agree. And then if we think a little bit about the ways of doing this onboarding, I would suggest not to limit only to the online trainings or like presentation-based trainings. You have seen the demo Lisa did earlier. You probably felt that it's a lot better to receive and understand. So practical part is always more attractive and works better than the theoretical part. So definitely some demos. And when doing the demo, maybe it's a good idea to do it as a role-based training. So you have probably like business development managers, account managers, and then specific like portfolio or product sales representatives. And these guys have a different needs, different workflows, and for that purpose, it would work much better if you offer them as like tailored demo how Copilot can be used in their case. Microsoft has also really good training material as well, where they show how Copilot supports you along the sales journey, and we as a Microsoft partners have referred to a lot of materials available from Microsoft, because we do work together, right? And then the real scenarios works really well when you take real challenges from inside your organization and then make a use case using the company sales process and use it in a demo. because that will be received a lot better than a generic process with that generic material. And then another last recommendation is to do the pilot groups, because if you, especially if you have a large sales team which is over 300, or like in my case it was over 1,000 people, and then there were business units, right? And and regional teams. So sometimes you can test a little bit which part of your organization is more receptive to this. You always see those people who are front runners, they're early adopters of whatever is being launched if it's good and Copilot is good. So you can start working with that group of people who are early adopters, do the pilot, do the demo, get them on board, and then leverage them as your internal ambassadors of Copilot for Sales. And this it typically works. But if you have any thoughts around this or further questions, or maybe you want some tips, or maybe you want us to join your internal training for your sales organization, let us know. So by that, we are approaching the end of our today's webinar. Thank you all for joining us today and for being with us in exploring how Copilot for Sales can improve your sales processes, your workflows. We hope you become a little wiser today and learn something new about what Copilot can do. And if you have any questions afterwards, or fancy further dialogue, just reach out either Elizabeth or myself. And by that, thank you so much, everyone, and have a good time. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.